Hey girl, hey! And welcome to Sibling Cinema,
where we explore movie masterpieces
that one of us has never seen before in order to sway or convert the other into fandom.
Each week, we'll introduce a movie we love,
From sci-fi classics
to Korean horrors.
and try to convince the other it's a masterpiece.
One's seen it, one hasn't.
I am your host, Tony.
And I'm your co-host, Leanne.
Sit back,
Relax.
this is Sibling Cinema. Hello and welcome to our Season 2 finale episode. I am your host, Tony, and here with me, as always, is my weird-haired, trigger-killer, milk-sweating bounty partner, Leanne.
What the fuck?
Hey girl, hey Leanne.
Oh, hey go, hey Tony.
How you doing? You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm actually excited for Friday. I'm going to the Empire Strips Back.
Oh, call it. Do you
Call
think
it,
it's going to be
call
good? Call it.
I do. I'm excited to feed back to the troops and share with the class my findings.
I can't wait for you to watch that, actually. Like, it looks absolutely fucking jokes. Anyway, Leanne, as you would say, we digress.
I do say that a lot.
Well done for a phenomenal second season of Sibling Cinema. Absolute pleasure doing this with you.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Especially considering I got to see my first Star Wars film on the big screen. That was a peak moment for me.
We wouldn't be here without our wonderful special guest. Yes, we have another special guest on this podcast to end off this season. And would you believe it? I've pulled an immense amount of strings, bell ropes, and favours to make this a reality. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the editor, the producer of this entire series, Producer Joe Floppy Legs. Round of applause, everyone.
Hello, I'm here. I can finally speak instead of just sit and listen for hours on end as these two speak.
Hello, Mr. Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me, guys. I look forward to the conversation in this.
What are you even
podcast.
doing here, bruv? Like, we don't need a critique.
I'm here to just tell you how I've been feeling. You know, what is it? 6 episodes. This is the 6th one. That's 12 episodes. I cut down the time. Hopefully, make it sound good for you lot listening at home.
Are you trying
course,
to
dude.
insinuate that it wouldn't sound good without you?
Well, considering I cut a lot of, not a lot. Let me add, it's not that much I cut, but there are some conversations that, as you say, digress. So I just trim them down a little bit.
It's appreciated.
Yes, it was wonderful trimming and editing. If you guys didn't know, Producer Joe has edited every single episode of our podcast coming through season 1 and 2, adding in glorious sound effects, cuts from movie clips, our voices splattering all over the mics all together. He's put it together really, really nicely, and thank you so much for putting in all the efforts and the hours for editing it. Yeah. Here's to that.
Genuinely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Producer Joe does a fantastic stream under Floppy Legs. Amazing community streamer. Check him out if you can. Well worth your time
It's
because he does
Legs with 2 S's.
Well said, Leanne. Well said.
He does fantastic shows such as Flop Traitors, which is an excellent one that
Oh,
does.
that's one of my favourites.
They've both been part of it as well.
What other community games do you do, Mr. Floppy Legs?
Well, we've done a few others. Weakest Legs, which is my version of Weakest Link. Floppy Balls, which is my version of Golden Balls.
It just sounds
Tony was a
so
part
weird,
of
man.
that. And then there's a bunch of shows that I've come up with, all involving the community that I've built over on Twitch.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Producer Joe. So, Mr. Joe, firstly, tell us about your relationship with Star Wars. First off, can you remember the first time you saw it, and what were your first impressions of it?
I vividly remember Return of the Jedi. And we'll get onto this later, but I did watch it, Phantom Menace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So different to how Leanne watched it. But for some reason, the scene I remember, it's probably because I was really young, I watched it with my dad, and vividly remember the Jabba the Hutt scene. You know, she goes down and she gets attacked, and it's like I genuinely being fearful, like cowering and hiding under my dad's arm.
It was a horrible
Yeah.
scene. Yeah.
That's why I feel like I hold that film a little bit in my memory a bit more because of that. I just remember being so fearful and scared in that moment.
How old were you?
I don't know. I think I must have been around 6 or 7 because me and my cousin had a very strong connection with Star Wars as well. It was we had lightsaber toys, we were doing this, that, and the other. That was our like thing. It all started with Dad making me watch it, and then it kind of just went from there. I feel like that's a similar story for a lot of people, of course, but I just vividly, like, of course, I and one of the big things I will talk about actually very quickly, Attack of the Clones, with that cousin of mine and my sisters and my other cousin, we literally acted out for my mum and my uncle and auntie. We acted out the whole scene.
What scene?
You know, from the
Which
arena
scene?
when they're captured and they're imprisoned. They're imprisoned. You know, even the bit where C-3PO's head's getting dragged across the floor, someone played that part. Someone's head was across the floor, and we remembered the lines, and like we went through the whole thing. And I can't imagine being my mum, auntie, or uncle sitting there watching us just go through all of this. Like, oh, look what we've done.
I've got a question.
But yeah, I vividly remember that.
What role did you play? Were you the cat?
I was going to ask that. Yeah, I was going to ask that.
I reckon you were Padme.
Yeah, I'd love to be Padme. That'd be a dream come true. That. I don't know why we did it, but that's like, I don't know, two vivid memories of Star Wars for me as a kid.
You also watched No Country for Old Men as well, the film that Leanne made me watch. Joe, what did you think about that?
I was quite, I don't want to say surprised. I really enjoyed it. I very much agreed with the majority of, no, I would take back majority because there was a few theories that Tony dropped that I didn't agree with, but I very much agreed with Tony's thoughts and feelings about the ending. I just didn't think it landed for me. Even with Leanne's explanation about why it was good, I still didn't think it was enough to make me be like, you know, I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 around that.
I mean, Leanne's like opinion definitely upped my like final opinion.
Only by 0.5 though.
Like, no, but it's still effective.
It's
still
something.
effective.
It's something.
Yeah.
But your theory was bollocks, Tony.
It's not bollocks. Watch it again.
No, it pisses me off.
It's not bollocks.
No, because you kept going back to it, and I was like, no, Tony, that's not the point.
So I want to start at the beginning of this season and going through your fan ratings. The most peculiar changing of your ratings. So you started off this season at a 6.5 coming off Return of the Jedi. We then watched Phantom Menace and it dipped.
Yeah.
Only by 0.5. But you gave the film a rating of 4, which was so fucking low. Like, even with that rating, I thought your fan rating would have dipped even significantly, but it was only like 0.5.
I had faith in the next two films at that point. I was like, okay, this should have just been a book, like a, you know, it should have just been something that deep fans could have looked at after. I felt, like I said, the prequel to the prequel, right? But
Yeah.
I had faith that what was coming was going to be good. And also, the last three blew me away, the originals. And I shouldn't be talking about them, but they definitely influenced my ratings on the prequels. How could they not?
It's an interesting subject, and we will dive into, you know, the prequel versus original very soon in this little podcast. But Leanne, this is where it gets confusing. Okay, so you go on to Attack of the Clones.
I explained myself.
Wait a minute. You give this film rating a 6, which is like 2 points higher than Phantom. Okay, cool, fair enough.
Yeah.
But then your fan rating goes down by 1 to 5.
Yeah.
To Grey Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you got to explain that because that just absolutely blows my head off.
I did explain it because then I lost faith. I was like, right, this is it. Like, it's peaked. I've already seen the best. I've already seen it.
But to go down from a 5,
Yeah.
like after, like even
Tony,
taking
Attack
into
of the Clones
consideration
is
the originals.
bollocks. You know this. The sand scene, like, it's so bad. The acting, it's so bad.
I'm biting my tongue right now.
I know. I was gonna say Joe must be like right
Dealing
now.
with that. One thing I want to say though, her score went down to a 5. She said.
Yeah.
At the same time, she's sending Instagram reels of Star Wars related memes and jokes. She's sending this, that, and the other. All Star Wars. A 5 out of 10. That's like my mum. She's a 5 out of 10 Star Wars fan. Like, she'll give it a go if it's on, but she won't. You were going that above and beyond. You were never a 5. I'm sorry. You were just retaliating. You were lashing out.
Did I not come back the following week and say that I had reflected and I changed my fan rating? Okay.
That was because of Revenge of the Sith, though.
Yeah, because it was banging.
Yeah,
like, it made everything worth it. It made the slug worth it. I just felt like those two films felt like a slug, and I was like, wow, okay, if these are the fucking prequels, then yeah, my fan rating is going to dip. Maybe I shouldn't have dipped it as low as I should have. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Would you say, like, from going original into prequel, do you kind of see why some of the fan base was a bit confused, and sometimes it's labeled as toxic, so to speak?
I've not witnessed any toxicity personally.
The Star Wars fandom is very, very well known for a very hefty toxicity.
I know it is, and after I watched all of them, like so far, I popped onto Reddit for like a little bit more, and I was like, "Oh, what are people?" Because I'm thirsty for it now. And yeah, the comments were incredibly divided. That's what I couldn't find a definitive rating from people, and there were people bickering about, well, oh, what if you think Empire's number one and not Revenge of the Sith, then go fuck yourselves. And it was just a constant one-upping one another because of little things. And
yeah. Some fans can be very, very precious about the ones that they like really love and really care about, myself included. I'm definitely in that category when it comes to some things within the Star Wars
but that's
medium.
how you know something's good, when people are willing to fight for it in comment sections on Reddit as full-grown adults.
But in hindsight and in like reflection, I have to like love the franchise for what it is, despite of my feelings for certain parts of the medium that come into fray. But it's really interesting to see you kind of watch this journey of you watching Star Wars as we're going along, because I'm seeing all your emotions, that kind of some of what I felt, some of what I didn't feel. It's interesting to see a Star Wars fan being nurtured right in front of our eyes.
I feel like something that really helped me get to grips with it in the end. Well, no, even at the beginning, I loved it. I was like 7. I want more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you said the L word.
You said something, Tony, and I think it was, that's part of the charm. Like, some of the flaws are part of the charm and the journey the film has gone on, no matter what version you're watching. Like, there's a story behind there. And I agree with you.
You gave Revenge of the Sith a film rating of a 9, I think, and then gave your fan rating, I think you finished on 8, I think?
Yeah.
I might need to double check that, but I think that is what you kind of left it on. So finishing up on this season, you are an 8 still in Star Wars. Actually, no, you finished this season a higher fan than you did with originals.
No.
So what that's telling me
tricked.
is
fooled.
This is what I think you like the prequels more than you let off.
No.
I think you've got a charm towards them.
No.
Because you finished the originals on 6.5.
Tony, I will never watch episode 1 again. I've got no reason to watch that fucking film again.
But Revenge of the Sith, you would probably say is in your top 2, as you said. So like that does the heavy lifting. It's carrying the prequels to the finish line kind of thing. So surely that there is some validity in that you were doing a little bit dirty the prequels, when at the end of it it's looking quite shiny. Maybe that's recency bias.
I agree with that. I would say like it's written in my ratings. I got 2/3 of the way through. I was like, fuck this cake. I don't fucking want it. Like, it's vile. I'm done with Star Wars. But like, fuck this. I've been betrayed. Like Obi. but then it was redeemed, and I was like, I get it. The payoff was so worth it, and I get why you would have to endure the other 2 films.
Don't say endure. That's such a hard word.
I think like
not endure, okay, but
you need
them.
But you need that back. I said in kind of Revenge, like you need that backstory in order to understand Revenge of the Sith and what Anakin is going through.
But it could have been done so much better, and that's what's disappointing about episode 1 and 2. It could have been amazing, but the acting, man, that's why people go to the movies, to see people act and pretend to be that they're someone they're not. The dialogue, I can't. Jar Jar, I can't.
People don't just go to the cinema for acting, bro. Why do you think people went to see The Matrix?
Stories.
Immersed in a world.
Yeah, but it's a factor. You can't deny. You go to a film, you expect good acting. It's on the fucking big screen, all right? And all of these were on the big screen.
I promise you, I know you say you're never going to watch episode 1 again and etc. When you do, because you will inevitably do it, you will have a much more positive outlook to these characters, because you did go into it thinking, oh, I hope it's this and that, and then you find out it's actually this. So you're a bit like, oh. when you know that it's this and you go back into it, as Tony and you have said, like the charm of it, those flaws will shine brighter. I can't lie. Like I don't care for Jar Jar, but like I'm speaking like him when I'm thinking about him. Like Misa, like he's a stupid character. Just like love him for being stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Jay, this comes on to my next question, dude. What's your fan rating of Star Wars? Where do you sit yourself? Are you on the light side? Are you on the dark side? Or are you right down
He's
the
not on
middle?
the dark side, is he? He's a fucking...
I'm a self-proclaimed Star Wars nerd, but like not to the... So like your conversation you had, I think it was
The super nerds.
Yeah, so but I'm not in that camp. Like I haven't watched all of Star Wars content. I've not really delved into Clone Wars enough and things like that. However, when it comes to the films and how I feel if you play a certain Star Wars song at a certain moment, I'm probably going to choke up a bit because it just reminds me of so many moments. I'm so attached to that world and everything about it. Even some of the TV shows that I think are probably quite bad, it's still a fun time to spend 40 minutes in the Star Wars world. That being said, I can't say 9 or 10. I think that'd be a lie. That'd be a lie. You'd have to watch so much more and know so much more, I think. So I think at 8.5. You know what? Actually, I'm taking that back. I'm pushing a 9. I'm pushing a 9. I can't say 10.
That's it. Feel it. It's what you feel.
It's a feeling.
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Feeling it.
You raised something quite interesting. You talked about how if you heard the right piece of Star Wars music at the right time, you could get quite emotional, right?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
wonder if that's something that I'm missing out on because I didn't see it as a child. Do you know what I mean? Because it's good. Like, I do feel something, but is it as intense as it would be for you guys?
Joe, you mentioned Return of the Jedi. One of the reasons why it's effective is, again, on the music, but on the final fight, the music that is underneath when Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are doing the final fight, I find really impactful and emotional, as well as in Phantom Menace with Duel of the Fates, underneath this amazing fight choreography. I don't know, as a child, it impacts you a lot more, the music.
I found the double sun scene with Luke Skywalker in A New Hope was one of my favourite music pieces.
It might be completely contradictory to what you just said about you go to the cinema for acting and stuff. Like, I just genuinely think the music of Star Wars actually makes me forget about certain things. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't know how to describe it, and it's something I will be bringing up a bit later on. But very quickly, there's a moment that you spoke about in Attack of the Clones where obviously there's such bad dialogue between Padme and Anakin, and how can I believe this love story? I believe that love story because John Williams went crazy with the love theme. Like, if you told me to think of a Star Wars song right now, I'm thinking of the love theme, and that I'm just thinking of that they were so in love, but it's because of the music that accompanies those moments, and that's what I associate so much with that. So yes, they might have been speaking kind of dodgy and awkward and talking nonsense, but that music accompanied with it, you can't deny. Like when they're married, that music as it crescendos,
No, like I said in the pod, like I was so distracted by the poor dialogue.
How can you be distracted when that music's
Look,
playing
I
in the
need
background?
to watch it again, maybe, because I was just because of the dialogue. I was like, I'll tell you why. Because I was so invested in their story, I wanted to hear what they were going to say to each other. What came out of their mouths was sand, bruv. Like it was a joke.
Let's move on to Sibling Roundup. Leanne, you have, of course, finished the prequel trilogy. You've got your own medal to signify that as evidence. Now, we need to think about your overall favourite scene, favourite quote, and favourite character. Let's start with favourite character first.
Obi is the goatee.
Oh, interesting.
It's got to be Obi. It's got to be Obi.
Interesting.
I was torn a little bit, like in my mind I was like maybe Anakin, and I was like no, it's Obi.
I thought you were going to go with Anakin, because Obi has sort of a slow start in Phantom.
He does, but in episode 3 he's amazing in it.
Spring the trap.
No, it's just I always wanted to see more of him. When he wasn't on screen, I'm like, where's Obi? I just wanted to see more of him.
Favourite character, it's got to be Anakin. Best journey throughout the prequels. His character goes through the most growth, the most change, and it's tragedy as well, which is always interesting.
Well, character straight off is going to be also Obi-Wan Kenobi. When I was growing up, I was my nickname from me madre was Jobi-Wan Kenobi.
Really? That's very cute.
That is cute.
Favourite scene?
Obviously, you are the chosen one.
Right at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
That I hate
Revenge of
you.
the Sith. Yes, the best scene. It is. 100%.
Even like the pod race. Even the pod race.
100%.
Like,
No, fuck the pod race.
the Colosseum, the arena.
No, that scene. That was... I just felt for Obi so much.
What part are you starting with? Are you going from the very beginning of like for democracy, all of that stuff? Just the end of it?
Like the speech.
So from the whole
monologue.
sequence, okay.
Even though the high ground thing makes no sense. Oh, he's itching.
Yes, I'm ready to talk on that.
He's ready to strike.
Scene-wise, it's tough because if you asked me when I was younger, it would be straight up Colosseum scene. That was Star Wars for me in a nutshell. Jedi's going mental, crazy alien creatures with really nice sound design. That
good.
one, it's crazy. That one's really good. It's hard not to say that scene that Leanne has said there for Revenge of the Sith. I will be honest, there ain't no Phantom Menace for me. Duel of the Fates, of course, that whole fight scene at the end is incredible, but that don't go into a top 5 for me in prequels. I think I could pick a few here and there. I know that might be a bit of a hot take. And one thing I will say is the atomic bomb thing that he drops in space.
Oh,
just that noise alone. I could listen
yeah,
Yes,
that's
it's such a good
gorgeous
sound.
Yeah.
to
Sonic
So
charges,
good.
I think they were called. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing sound. Like how it sucks in all the sound and just, it's beautiful. My favourite scene has to be in Revenge of the Sith, where there's no music and Palpatine is admitting that he's the Sith Lord, and he tells Anakin that he can save his wife. I love it. And finally, I could probably guess what your favourite quote is, but go for it.
Your new empire.
I thought it would be hello there.
I do use that the most.
Your
I like
new empire.
Your new empire. Yeah. It's the question and the what? Your new empire?
Wait, not even. No.
Fuck off.
Why is
Fuck
that
off with
bad?
that.
Why did you not call that bit out?
Right.
I love it. I love it and
Is he
hate
for
it.
real?
That scene is Marmite. I love it and I hate it.
No, fuck it.
What do you want him to do? Just like, because he can't show his expressions. You just want him
Don't
to just...
say no.
But
That's such
he's
a
really
fucking
unhappy.
played out cliche ending, mate. Absolutely no, cheap, disgusting.
I feel for him in that
I
moment.
spit on it.
God.
That might just be me.
Nah, it ruined it for me. It totally took me out of the mood.
Gave it a 9.
Son
Gave it a
of-
9 out of 10 though, so it didn't ruin it that much, did it?
Still, bruv, no, it would have been a 10. It would have been a 10 if little things like that had been tweaked.
Quote, I think, is either I killed all of them, the women and the children too. I do love that scene. I know Leanne's
I hate
making,
them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously Revenge of the Sith is full of quotes, do it and all that. But
Do it.
I'd go for that one, I think.
It gets me, like, unexpectedly. It's like in Attack of the Clones, where Anakin and Padme are captured, and then they take them to the Colosseum, the arena, and then he says, like, we decided to go after you, Master, and rescue you. And then Obi-Wan kind of looks at his hands and goes, good job. It's a sarcastic
Nice.
little prick. It always gets me for some reason.
What about worst characters?
Well, this is the thing. So, Leanne, I'm going to start with you first.
Oh,
Worst
dear.
character of the prequels.
Liam. There are too many.
Over Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Master Skywalker.
Okay.
There are too many of them. Shut up. Idiots.
I think this worst character is maybe a bit of a curveball, maybe, but C-3PO. He's kind of so irrelevant in these prequels, whereas R2 is so clutch in moments. You see him at his like really cool moments. C-3PO is just an extended gag in places. I don't dislike him, but he
Yeah.
is probably the worst.
Worst character. I think it does have to be Mr. Jar Jar, unfortunately. Like I kind of said in the Phantom episode, he brings nothing in the middle. He should have been just placed at the beginning and the end. He didn't need to be a major character in that film. Didn't
No,
need it.
he did not.
Yes, but he builds the relationships with them, and that becomes the pivotal moment when they get Naboo on side.
But I think he would have built that
Dude.
relationship. You could have built that relationship right at the beginning. He didn't need to be in the middle. He didn't.
I'll save it.
Okay. Worst quote. Actually, no, worst scene.
I hate sand.
Just that scene. So, what's your worst quote?
I hate sand.
Just on repeat.
Your
it
worst
goes to that.
scene and worst quote are in the same
Yes,
fucking thing.
It is the most diabolical portrayal of chemistry I've ever seen in my life. And if anyone needed chemistry to really make this happen, to sell it to me, it failed. I failed you, Anakin. It was awful.
Joe's going to go on an absolute rampage in a second. You know that.
Why? It's true.
Worst scene. Oh, you're so beautiful. It's because I'm so in love. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That was bad. Real bad.
That, or when Padme looks at the Jedi Temple and it's on fire and she just goes like that, and it's just like, fuck off. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. A minute of you. Fuck off.
A minute of her,
Worst quote. You look tired. I don't sleep anymore. Because of your mother.
Bad.
So wooden.
Worst scene. I have to agree and with Leanne's issues with Phantom Menace, because even though I'm very much into the politics of Star Wars as I've gotten older, especially with shows like Andor and things like that, when I was a kid, all I could think about Phantom Menace is just loads of times where Jedis are sitting down talking and yapping about stuff that I didn't care about. And that is valid. But as I've gotten older, I do kind of like those moments a bit more now, because I understand that they're talking about things that are not too dissimilar to what's happening in real life and things like that as well, of trade deals, etc. Worst quote. See, I'm not here for the sand thing being a bad quote. It's
so
just odd.
bad.
Yeah?
How can you like it?
I don't know. I
fuck.
genuinely... Okay, you know what quote I think about as like a little bit odd is Boba Fett in the room where he's in the ship and he's like, blast him or something like that, and he like says it really stupidly.
Get him, Dad! Fire!
Yeah, the fire. Yeah, that
okay,
Loki. I can't lie. I can't get behind that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be introducing you to a brand new section of this podcast that you've never heard before, and it's a special edition. It's going to be called Producer's Peeves. We are going to willingly give Joe, the producer, 90 seconds to tell us what grinds his gears as a producer trying to work with us. Editing, our opinions, whatever you'd like. We don't want you to hold back.
This is a mistake. We shouldn't be doing this.
Out of kindness, I'm just keeping it to the points you've made about the prequels, my beloved prequels. I've not nitpicked at other things.
The floor is yours, Mr. Joe.
I've got my pen ready. I'm going to make notes so I can count you.
I've got my pen as well.
I'd appreciate if you make no rebuttals during it, because I'm going to be in flow state as I reel these.
I'll be silent.
Okay.
Your time starts now.
Phantom Menace midichlorians make sense. Anakin's mum lets him go to be freed from slavery. Leanne made it out to be that she didn't care for him. She was trying to free him from slavery. Attack of the Clones. Anakin was a child in slavery and didn't have a normal upbringing. Padme was a child queen. They both had not normal upbringing, so of course they're going to be awkward and have cringe dialogue. Sorry, they don't fit the norms of how you deem love should develop. Dex is a lizard, not a cockroach. Sandline is factual. Fuck sand. Leanne didn't take in the love theme because of the dialogue. Fuck off. You said no drama in it. How about the fucking war breaking out that you were gagging for in the first film, Leanne? Count Dooku felt like a middleman to you. He literally is. Animated Yoda is clear of the puppet Yoda. Count Dooku literally flees the fight. You both said Yoda should have beat him. He would have beat him if he didn't dash the debris on Anakin and Obi-Wan. Revenge of the Sith. Anakin didn't go easy. You can see the performance from Hayden Christensen that it pained him to join Palpatine, but he would do anything for his love. They are fighting with laser swords, Leanne. Of course, hands will be chopped off often. No one acknowledges Palpatine's weird face. No one sees it other than Anakin, and Palpatine acknowledges it in his speech. Tony called out Anakin for killing younglings when he was going to have his own kid. That was the parallel they were trying to do, is to show how gone and lost he is, and he can't see the hypocrisy in killing kids to make sure his own kid and wife will live. It's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. It compares to the Darth Maul moment. It's Obi-Wan pleading with Anakin to stop and call a truce. We, the audience, know from Phantom Menace that high ground doesn't mean it's over. We saw Obi-Wan kill Maul, so when Anakin goes for it, we think, oh shit, but Obi-Wan is prepared for it and was one step ahead. It's a callback and somewhat a twist on our expectations in the short moment. It's also not Jedi law. High ground in general fights is an advantage. When you over choreograph, you lose the emotion. What that fight scene is emotional as hell.
Time. Shut
Damn.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Get out.
Fucking hell. Jesus
Wow.
Christ, Joe.
Whew.
Oh, that was the fastest I've ever heard you speak. We got a lot of stuff to unpack here. Fuck me. Straight off the bat, Metachlorians.
Oh, yeah, do one.
No, we've had this conversation. All right, I just want to put this out there to everyone listening. A lot of the times when I edit, especially the prequels, I've hit these two with multiple voice notes of voicing certain opinions. This one, I did voice to them. I just think the whole idea of the Force being something that's spiritual would make it to be like, especially with the originals, when Luke was the only Jedi really left, if it was something that was spiritual, then you'd ask them to find that faith. The fact that it's something that they needed within them that isn't something that you can just develop showed that he was more important, he was more special. I know that doesn't fit your love of anyone can be a Jedi, but I feel like it makes more sense.
It doesn't. I just found it disappointing. I was like, oh wow, so it's not something that anyone can just kind of pick up and master. You need to have it in your genes. There's something a little bit weird about that to me. It just doesn't sit right.
No, but everyone has midichlorian levels, but the better ones, the stronger, the Jedi ones, the Force sensitive ones have more midichlorians. That's the thing that makes them different, and it gives you the understanding why not any Tom, Dick, or Harry can be a Jedi. Not because they don't believe enough; they need something more than that.
For me, though, that killed the magic a little bit of, as a kid watching it, I was like, oh, I can't be a Jedi. Dad, do I have midichlorians? Do I have that?
You should have learned that you couldn't be a
boy.
Jedi when you tried to force pull a drink closer to you with a remote. I know we've all tried that multiple times.
I think I said, like, in a previous, I did think I had the Force a little bit when the door slammed, because the window was open and the air was coming, and I thought that was me when I was angry, and I was like, "Fuck, what have I done? I'm going to the dark side."
Turn into the dark side.
Interesting, awkward relationship. See, I actually do agree with you a little bit here, Joe, because I did say, like, socially, Anakin is weird with Padme because of his upbringing of being a slave and then being taken by the Jedi and being raised to be quite rejecting strong connections, all of this stuff. But Padme, she's a diplomat, so she'd be like trained in speaking to people, negotiations, socializing, all of this stuff.
That's not true social skills that she'd be able to develop, though, because it's an old environment. That would have an impact. I know that's a little bit of a stretch. I understand that dialogue is still poor, but it's some justification and some reasoning why they maybe went that route, because I don't think I know that there's a lot of things that George Lucas can't write love to save his life, like a script with love involved. But I do genuinely believe why they chose Anakin to say that. Everyone on set would know that was a dodgy line. He's grown up, not experienced anything, no social cues, no understanding on how to probably talk to a girl. That's why he's so odd with her.
Yeah.
Leanne.
What do you think? Leanne, go on.
I feel like you're both grasping. You're both grasping at fucking straws. Okay, this is bad directing. This is bad acting. It wasn't intentional. Okay,
But you can't say that.
This is just shit.
No, it's up to your own
Shit
interpretation.
acting. It's shit acting. You're all trying to grasp at straws like, oh, it makes sense that they would be so awkward around each other. He's a poor slave boy and she was a senate.
So wait, that wouldn't have an effect. That wouldn't have an effect, you're saying?
I don't think they were directed. I don't think they
No, I'm asking
were
you,
even thinking about
do you think
that.
a
I don't
slave boy
think they were
child-
even aware that.
I'm asking you as a character, you don't think a slave boy child and a queen, a young queen, wouldn't be a little bit socially odd and not be normal?
If they wanted to, be romantic, there would be a fuck ton more chemistry than there was on that screen.
Do you know what though? There was one scene that I was invested in, and it was when they were outside talking about. Padme was talking about her previous like boyfriend or love interest, and then they get into like how politics like works. Like Anakin's like, I think one person should have their say and then do it, and then Padme's like, well, that is what we do. But I think that's. I thought that scene was really good because it's showing.
Was like, remember all of these facts about yourselves. No, it was just bad.
No, not even that. Because I think that scene is actually, despite everything else, is actually a well-written scene because it shows both their political sides. Anakin is more dictatory, and Padme is more democracy. It's showing that divide, even though they've got that little bit of chemistry within each other.
There's no chemistry.
I think in that bit there was chemistry, but everything else I couldn't invest in it because, like you said, Leanne, the dialogue just because of it, I couldn't invest in them falling in love.
But one thing I want to add to it though is you're saying you saying that George Lucas never added all these things to Hayden Christensen, like he didn't direct at all, whatever. But like a lot of the critiques that Hayden Christensen got from the previous generation that watched it for the first time, obviously my generation grew up loving him, but he's whiny, he's whiny in this moment, this, that, and the other. But like, why do you think he's such like a whiny kid? Like, because he's never grown up, he's never had an upbringing. Like you're very much moving past the point that he's not had an upbringing. So of course he's gonna do certain things in a weird way. He's still gonna be childish. He's not developed. He's still very much a whiny kid, and that's what he should be. That wasn't poor acting.
As a fucking first-time viewer, okay, the frustrating thing is, this is big, okay? This is the reason Anakin turns to the dark side, right? It's to save his love. If you don't believe in the love they have, then...
But you have to believe in it because you gave it a 9.
Flaw.
Why'd you give it a 9 then?
Because I had to. I had to just kind of throw myself into it. But they
you
made
felt
it
for
really
him.
difficult. Yes, at the end.
So clearly they did something right.
Do you understand, Leanne, why Anakin made that decision to go to the dark side and save Padme?
Yes, because he was desperate to save her life. Like, I get it.
Because he loved
it was-
her.
Yeah, like literally, it's that fucking simple.
But I do side with Leanne here. There are relationships on cinema and screen that you think, fucking hell, yeah, they're in love. You see it in like The Notebook, fucking Titanic, all of this
Way
stuff.
before this.
And I do think that sometimes Attack of the Clones struggles with that emotion.
Yeah, I'm no way saying it's the best love ever seen in cinema. I'm just saying the lack of appreciation for it, or lack of even just recognizing that it was present from you two throughout the podcast was very obvious to see.
We did acknowledge its presence.
No, but
we
you
just
didn't.
critiqued it.
You just said it was crap, and especially
crap.
the sand scene. It's very odd, but like you can justify it, and any sort of like media analysis or something, you can take a scene, and if you can justify it with something that does sound reasonable, that is an analysis that you can do. So you can't say that I'm pulling and clutching at straws, because there is some clear justification. It does add up what I'm saying. I'm not saying something completely bollocks.
Using media against me. Media studies.
What else did I write down? Before I go on to my next point, Leanne, did you have anything written down that you wanted to rebuttal with?
Yeah, Dex is a lizard, not a cockroach.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Is it?
Yes.
To be fair, I'm not holding deep on that. If he's a lizard, so be it.
You called him a cockroach and I screamed. He's the biggest lizard I've ever seen. He's a reptile. He looks reptilian.
No, wait.
With his 6 arms. Oh.
I didn't add in my pet peeves about just the general CGI critiques.
Well, Joe, you did say animated Yoda, goat, then puppet Yoda.
Yes, and I'll be honest. Okay, that one was a little bit rage bait. I'm trying to poke you a little bit there, but it was because Leanne said, "Why did they animate him? Why do I want to see his feet?"
I don't want to see his feet.
Yeah, but it's not about his fucking feet. It's about, this is the Jedi Master. I want to see the Jedi Master do Jedi Master things.
He shouldn't be doing flips and shit. He should just be moving shit with his mind.
And he did that.
I wanted more of that. Anyway, another thing you said, you spoke about chopped hands. Yeah, that's what happens when you play with lightsabers.
Yes.
Then why not? No! Then why not legs?
Because their hands are right next to they're holding the lightsaber, so they get to a draw where they're holding it together, and it can just like it's so obvious. You literally
hand
said
fetish.
You literally said a hand fetish. You said, "Oh, I've got a counter now. What's that? 5 hands now." It's probably thousands of hands if you go through every lightsaber fight, because there's a laser
more
beam
legs, more
by your
heads.
hand. Well, you got a chopped in half body. Did you not like that?
I did.
The parallels with the kids, I get why they probably done it, and to show how fallen Anakin has right to the dark side. However, I rebuttal that it was just way too soon. He only decides to turn a scene or two ago.
No, but but you know that's not true, because he's long gone. Like he's been manipulated to shit.
Well, yeah. I think okay. Let me rephrase. Like, he's made his decision that I think he's found a way to save you. I've found a way to save you, Padme. I'm going to see what I can do with this. But why is he saving Padme? Because she's pregnant, and it's the premonition that he had of her dying in childbirth. I don't think he'd switch on killing children and kids that quickly.
You're right. That's the thing. You're supposed to be like, this is so out there. This is so against it. Like, why on earth would he
He's
do
so
this?
bad now.
You're supposed to be saying that because
Yes.
that's how far gone he is.
But it's so fast. I can understand.
But that's because he's the chosen one. He's a visceral. That's why he was on a knife edge. He could go this way, that way, and once he went that way and catapulted tenfold.
Once he got Mr. Windy, that was it.
I don't know. Like, if they would have put in like an additional like premonition of maybe she's dying because of the child inside her, maybe that might edge him to maybe kill the children or whatever. It's that kind of anger towards it. But I just felt it was way too quick.
But he's
for
just
him to
following
switch
orders.
like
There's nothing
that.
to do. He would have killed anything and anything that he was told to do in that moment because he was at Palpatine's whim. It wasn't that. It was a kid.
And also, he didn't seem too happy about the pregnancy as a whole. I think the last thing on his mind was that child. He wasn't
She
thinking about
cheated
the
on him.
baby.
That's why he turned. He
No,
cheated on him.
genuinely, I don't think he was thinking about the baby. He didn't seem best pleased. He wasn't like, oh, what are we going to name it? He was just like, oh.
He just got back from a ship crash that he just
Fair enough,
survived.
mate. Fair
He's
enough.
stressed out.
But use protection. Use the fucking force or something. I don't know. Like,
Force condom, all right.
wait, I made one note, and
Go
it
on.
was about the high ground.
Yeah, so
And
did I. Yeah.
I actually thought to myself, damn.
Yeah.
Like, it made sense.
Yeah,
I've been schooled.
I put the same. I was like, oh, okay, that actually does
Yes.
make a bit more sense.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So
I don't
kudos
like
to
to
you, Joe.
admit
I'll give you that.
when I'm wrong, but I will.
Yeah, this does open up a discussion that I do want to talk to you about, both of you, and it's the difference between watching Star Wars episodically or in cinematic release. And I was kind of thinking of like my opinions of the Midichlorians, my opinions of Yoda being a badass Jedi Knight Saber Master, and I think if you were to watch like the prequels first, this sort of stuff is absolutely fine. Because in the originals, they build up that philosophy of Yoda after all the events of this. Maybe Yoda, was of course be a saber master because he's been trained in being a Jedi Knight. So some people would consider that actually okay. But it's so interesting to see like the opinions of people who have watched the films in cinematic order rather than in episodic order, because you can get so many opinions of how they perceive the rest of the universe.
And this is something that I saw on Reddit, like
Mm.
on my travels,
Mm.
and yeah, very divided as to how you should do it.
That's the thing. Like, if I can't now. I mean, it's impossible. I've already watched the films in cinematic order. But if I were to watch it in the prequels, maybe I won't have that opinion on Yoda. Maybe I won't have that opinion on R2 and being able to fly. Maybe I won't have that opinion on Midichlorians or any of that stuff, because I watched it in supposedly the correct order to watch it in episodic. I mean, it's so like, yeah. I mean, Joe, did you watch it like? I know you watched Return of the Jedi vividly first time, but you've got more of a memory of watching these films episodically rather than in cinematic order?
Yeah, of course. I actually, when this whole idea of sibling cinema started, I said Leanne should watch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if I was to introduce it to anyone in the future, I would suggest that as well. I know, and I think you made the perfect point there, and that's literally it to a T. Your opinion on XYZ is going to differ because of what you were introduced to first, and that could literally just end 90% of the debates. What I would say though is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is, I just feel like going into the originals, having that understanding of who Darth Vader is and his before, I think you could just feel more while you're seeing those moments. And I don't know if that makes sense. Like, everyone feels everything in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin turns, because it's a knife's edge, and you feel, I can't believe he's gone into that. And then you see this Darth Vader throughout the whole originals, where you know he's in there, you know he's in there, you know he's in there. Like you're still clinging on, hoping that he could come good. So when he does, it's like, oh, he did. Whereas I'm not saying it's a shock, and it's like it's like how the hell did Darth Vader turn good? But when you watch the originals and just the originals, that twist isn't built on Anakin Skywalker being in there. Do you know when he takes off the mask and he says, "I'm Anakin"? Like, do you know what I mean? That's nothing if you just watch the originals and that's all you've seen. Knowing Anakin from kid to fallen and manipulated man, knowing that that was him who did that, and it wasn't. I think that those sort of moments, and you mentioned about Yoda as well. Like, it makes sense why he doesn't now wield a lightsaber and stuff. He lost. He lost everyone. He completely failed. He becomes a recluse. He becomes a little bit insane in it's Dagobah, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense why he ends up like that. So if you see him like that and then see him like this, it's like, I think it's hard to, maybe not hard, but your instant thought isn't like, oh, this is what he was in his prime, in his pomp. Like, I just feel like those little moments play a part. And that's why I would suggest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, of course, to anyone. I suggest to watch the films.
Yeah, it's so difficult because you're automatically going to be heavily influenced no matter which trilogy you choose. Leanne, do you wish that we maybe have watched this in episodic order, or are you happy with the cinematic order that we've done so far in order that it was released in?
It's difficult because after hearing Joe talk about it and how, I think watching the originals, knowing that Anakin was under there the whole time would have had a lot more impact on me. However, Tony decided my fate. Like, I had no idea where to start off. I don't agree with episode 1 being a good starter film. If you want to get someone kind of hooked in and invested in the story, I think some people might struggle with that. I know I definitely would if that was the first one that Tony had shown me, so maybe that was the right call. I know I needed to be hooked, so I imagine some people that haven't seen it before would also need to be hooked.
The reason why I started you off on the originals was, number one, that's how I started it. So I thought maybe just go through the same format as I did growing up and seeing if you become a fan and see if that resembles
But there's something
it.
valid in that as well, because that was the cinematic release. That was how a certain population on Earth saw these films be released. Do you know what I mean? As the director wanted. And maybe there's something in that alongside what you're saying. I think, like the story, absolutely. Joe, yes, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you want to get someone hooked and invested straight away, I would say 4, 5, 6.
I do agree with your first point. Like, watching the first film, Phantom Menace isn't to A New Hope. I actually don't love A New Hope like a lot of people, but it is definitely a lot more exciting than Phantom Menace. But what I don't agree with, though, is just the whole idea of, because I didn't know all of this, and that's why Sibling Cinema has been fantastic, because you've given the facts about, when he put out the first film, A New Hope, he just wanted to get one film out. His idea in my head, George Lucas, his idea was always, if he was told he was going to be guaranteed unlimited films, he would have done Phantom Menace first. He would have done 1, 2, and that's why he called it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or if Disney did that. But if he wanted it to be New Hope watched first by new fans, he wouldn't have named it episode 1, because look at like Fantastic Beasts. You can do prequel series, prequel films, and not call it 1, 2.
I don't know what that is.
Well, Harry Potter's prequels. But my point is, they didn't call it episode 1. They didn't call it number 1. They wanted it to be a separate entity to Harry Potter. If he wanted the prequels to be a separate entity or not watched in that order, he wouldn't have said 1, 2, 3. Why would they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because it just confuses new fans, as you were confused. There's so many conversations you two had where you were like, why is it 1, 2, 3? But I think because George Lucas wants you to watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But obviously some fans started with originals and they can't choose that. That's why I would let new fans coming in watch it in that order.
I do wonder how I would have felt had I watched them in a different order. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll never know. Like, Tony decided my fate, and I think he made an okay call. Like, I don't think I would have been hooked in with episode.
One thing that I would have been funny, you wouldn't have been asking, why does he breathe like that for 6,000 episodes just over and over again? Why does he breathe like that? You would have known. You would have known.
I wanted to know so bad.
That was the one reason, because that's how I watched them. And number 2, I think the story of A New Hope individually, I think is really strong, and it's fantasy and it's great. I do think the overarching story that the prequel trilogy does is better than the story of the originals, simply because I think Return of the Jedi plot is a little bit recycled. But I think
Empire.
No, Empire's great. But the whole journey that the prequels go through, I think, is better, and it culminates in a really, really good way. Oh, guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Oh,
Yes,
no.
you heard it. It's Ducky the Eagle. He's back.
Hey.
Hello, Ducky. How you doing? So, Ducky, I just want you to drop down your little bit of paper coming from your talons. Aim. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Ducky. Toodaloo. We do have some fan mail that I'd like to read out and some questions. One piece of mail that my friend sent in on the subject of prequels and originals has simply said, "Justice for people who started on episode 1." Because yes,
Fair
there
enough.
is justice, and we've discussed like watching like prequels first. I mean, like it's still a
can
discussion that goes
appreciate.
on today. Oh yeah, absolutely, we can appreciate. Which creature or character would you catch and train like a Pokemon?
My answer's straight away easy. The creature that Obi-Wan rides before fighting General Grievous. I love
the
that
big
fucking
lizard.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, the noise of that is actually number one.
That's
That's the
such
best
a cute-
sounding thing ever.
It's such a cute lizard. I didn't like it when he got blown off the cliff.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
all.
that should be my best scene. That whole sequence is fucking unreal. Sorry.
I would go for the Rancor. Big time. Boom.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the Cave in Return of the Jedi, so good. And when he dies as well, the dog whine, it still gets me. Fucking hell. Leanne, what would you pick?
The Yeti
The Yeti. Oh!
from the snow cave.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
just eat people's flesh. for me.
I mean, I don't like Pokemon, but surely Tony would win that fight. my lizard and your
absolutely not.
Yeti.
I've been a
getting done
Pokemon
in.
trainer longer than he has.
Oh, okay.
The Rancor would absolutely smash the shit out of the Yeti.
My lizard
in
thing,
the
I'm
honest-
running away.
Yeti is ice type and earth. You're just earth type. Fuck off. It's not very effective.
Oh, it's super effective. Oh, mate, don't get me on Pokemon. Fucking hell, I could speak for hours on that. We have another piece of mail from my wife and Joe's sister. Who would win in a fight? Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men or General Grievous?
To be fair, Anton Chigurh could just use the little,
Yes.
that air thing straight into the gap in Grievous's heart. Bang.
Bang.
But I'm
I
not going to give
agree.
you that. I'm not giving you that. It's General Grievous. It's he'll slice them up into little pieces and eat
No,
them like sushi.
Anton, I believe in Anton.
I think General Grievous would be far too theatrical. And it will be like, Anton Chigurh! And then Anton would be like, call it. And then flip a coin. And then and then he'll like land. And then he'll just shoot him. Done. Ended. General Grievous won't have time to get out his lightsabers.
I'm trying to think how quickly Anton Chigurh can actually whip out the thing. He's got this whole gas canister. He's going to crawl that around. By that time, General Grievous was turning into a little spider around the rules doing from behind. Well, what? Lightsaber from behind. Bye-bye.
We have an anonymous question here.
Comment.
The anonymous is, there's lots and lots of different droids in the Star Wars universe. What sort of droid would you be in this universe and why?
Wait, Leanne, after 3, can we say what Tony would be if he was to be one droid in the Star Wars universe?
Okay.
I want to see if we say, all right, 3, 2, 1,
C3PO.
C3PO.
Fucking pricks, I knew you'd pick C-3PO. How rude.
That's Tony.
I don't know what I'd be. Everyone would like to say R2D2, but I don't think that is the case for everyone. Leanne, you'd be the little eye that comes out of the Jabba the Hutt place.
You're fucking. That's fucking rude, bro. Because I was gonna say R2D2 because I'm capable and strong and I commit war crimes. Like, fuck. The little eye. That's fucking rude. Right, who would you be then?
You'd be Joe would be the doink droids, the big ones that are like doink, the doink, the doink.
No, he'd be one of
With the long snout,
No,
the one that like
no,
fight.
he'd be working at the cantina as one of the fucking, you wipe up the things.
Oh my god.
You'd
No.
be, like,
Nah, I'll take. Just
cleaner.
give me a Roger. I'll be one of them.
Roger,
They're
Roger.
funny.
Roger,
No.
Roger. Or one of the buzz droids.
Yeah, they're nasty. Rest in peace, R4, man.
Yeah, awful.
Actually, just got done in.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Do it.
That is enough of our fan mail. What to expect from next season? Well, Leanne, we will be venturing into Disney Star Wars trilogy. I'm
Right.
very,
Woo.
very excited for you to be watching these films.
Rah. No, because okay, in most of this podcast, nobody has mentioned 7, 8, and 9 in all of the ratings. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no one mentions 7, 8, 9 apart from Joe right at the end, and that has me concerned. You've offered no reassurances to me about this.
But I don't want to give anything away. Why would I reassure you?
Because you've
didn't-
reassured me about the others.
I didn't
like,
reassure
don't worry,
you.
the prequels aren't that bad. You'll like them. You find out why Vader breathes that way. What is there to look forward to now?
Because it's a brand new story. I don't want to reveal it.
It's definitely going to be I think because of the prequels being so like Anakin and then it's Darth Vader. It felt very like streamlined in that sense, where like you understood kind of like, okay, this is that character, they're going to be this. Whereas obviously this is your first time going forward.
And
You've never delved further
Vader's
than
not
Return of
gonna
the
be in
Jedi.
it.
You already know that Adam Driver's in it, and you seem to be looking forward to that. So you've got someone to
I
fill
am.
that lust.
Okay.
That lust.
Good soup. But of course, this is all pie in the sky. Mr. Producer Joe does have the power here, and he can choose to renew us or not. The final decision is with him at the end of the day. But essentially, if we are renewed, we will be engaging in this brand new trilogy, and Leanne would have achieved a feat that lots and lots of others have achieved, the Platinum Star Wars trilogy medal from completing all 3 of them.
No!
Yeah.
He doesn't like you.
We'll also be diving into a film that Leanne will pick for myself that I haven't seen. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the listeners so far. It's been an amazing experience, again, going through the prequel trilogy. And yeah, thank you for the shares and listens. It means a lot. Thank you, Mr. Producer Joe, again, for all your editing and producing of this. We would not have a show without you, so thank you very much.
No problem.
So, to finish this off, we will be back, but we will be taking a little bit of a break where we hopefully will be renewed. But for now, I would like to say, fuck off and goodbye. And hopefully...
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Bye.
Sorry, I jumped the gun. I've been wanting to say that every single time.
and hopefully we'll be back soon, so... Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to Sibling Cinema. If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned for more arriving weekly. Make sure you check out our Instagram page, sibling_cinema, where you can listen to extra exclusive content and drop us a like, a share, or even a message if you'd like. Don't be shy. Until next time, roll on the next reel. Edited and produced by Floppy Legs.